Towns Carnival is, among a lot of things, a great family day out, a day that I can see my Caribbean culture celebrated in the city and also watch people take part in that, watch people learn about it, watch people sample the food, and just really come together for a very unique experience.
It's important to each person to celebrate their culture, because even though we are living in England, we don't want people to forget where they originated from and where they come from. Each Caribbean country have carnivals, and each Caribbean country have a different meaning. I mean, from Barbados to me, Carnival is about when the crops were finished and the cutting of the sugar canes and stuff like that. Then we celebrated after, and that's how Carnival originated from in Barbados. So just simple things like that, you can actually bring that into carnivals, and that's why I think that is important to keep events like that, to keep culture alive.
I think it's going back to their countries of origin, so back to Africa, back to the, and I say the West Indies, I mean, it's not even so much Jamaica, because I guess it was more Trinidad, Tobago, had a real vibrant carnivals. It was about freedom, it was about expressing where they came from, it was about getting, some of them, and I say spirituality, because it was about getting rid of spirits and how that looked. And again, enjoyment and being that community. And it was a way of getting together. I think stress in the workplace with the inequalities, with the discrimination, and the carnival was a way of just putting all that behind us. Let's enjoy, let's get together, let's play some music. So yes, I think it was more about, we used to do this at home, let's bring this to here, let's get the family out, let's get the community out and get everybody involved.
I think one, it's for people from Afro-Caribbean descent, it's a way of keeping their culture going, but I think also it's a way of sharing the culture, because everyone's welcome at Carnival. So it's a way of all people coming together just to enjoy yourself and then, celebrate, Afro-Caribbean culture.
To me, Carnival is about bringing culture together, bringing people together, experiencing different cultures with different people. There's so much I can actually say, but for me, mainly, it's about celebrating the culture of the Caribbean.
When we talk about culture, I think it's really important that we know where we're coming from. I don't think if you don't know where you're coming from, you're going to struggle to know where you're going. We have a very strong roots. Our roots are, as much as some people may not agree, our roots are anchored in Africa. We come from the African continent. So there's different cultural aspects in terms of food, in terms of dress. But I do think what binds us together is that music and that richness, and that tapestry of culture. I think Staffordshire, more so, we are very multicultural. We have a diverse set of communities. We've got a high percentage of people from dual heritage, mixed parentage, mixed relationships. And I think it's important that cultural aspects of music, food, culture gets passed down.
When my kids moved here, they were actually quite young. So they didn't get to experience the carnivals and the culture like I did growing up in Barbados. So by having these carnivals and educating the young generation who's going to educate their children about sports, it keeps the memory alive. It keeps the culture alive. And if we stop doing it, then who is going to do it? Who is going to carry on the flag? Who's going to continue the culture? And if that doesn't happen, it starts to die out. And we forget where we come from and who we actually are.
I think there's a thing with Carnival where it passes on. So it's like, I love the fact that it has passed on from sort of my parents' generation to me. And even now, a big part of when we're working with artists and producers, some of the younger people, it's sort of earmarking those younger people who you are looking to pass it to next. And I love that because that's legacy. you know, and if you look at it that way, you can kind of see it will just keep going and going and going.
I think the legacy of Carnival, it's a little bit of the Caribbean here in the Potteries. We've heard about quadrille, we've heard about the dances in Jamaica, that's where my parents are from, and we've heard about all of those, and we've heard about the parades, and it's nice to have that, a little bit of the Caribbean here in Stoke-on-Trent. As a child growing up, we didn't know our history, we do now.